I warned my friend to wear a bra before holding my baby. She called me a misogynist. My son was 6 months old when this happened. For half a year, I'd kept visitors to a minimum, just close family, my husband, maybe 1 or 2 people I trusted completely. But by month 6, I was ready to let the world back in a little. I missed my friends. I missed feeling like a person outside of being a mom. So when my best friend asked to come meet him, I said yes immediately. She'd been asking for weeks. Every time I'd put her off gently, saying I wasn't ready yet, that I wanted to wait until things felt more stable. She was understanding at first, but I could tell she was getting impatient. So when I finally texted her and said she could come over that Saturday, she was thrilled. But there was one thing I needed to mention first. My son had developed this habit, a grabby, laser-focused obsession with nipples. It didn't matter whose. Mine, my husband's, my mom's. If you were holding him and he could see even the outline of one through your shirt, his little hands would lock on like a vice. And he was strong, way stronger than you'd think a 6-month-old could be. It hurt a lot. I knew my friend had her nipples pierced. She told me years ago, and she'd mentioned more than once how sensitive they were, how even brushing against them the wrong way could make her wince. So I sent her a text the night before she was supposed to come over. Hey, so excited to see you tomorrow. Just a heads up, son's name has been grabbing at nipples like crazy lately. If you're planning to hold him, maybe wear a sports bra or a thicker shirt. I don't want him to hurt you, lol. I hit send and didn't think much of it. She didn't respond. The next morning, I checked my phone. Still nothing. I figured maybe she didn't see it, or maybe she just didn't think it was a big deal. But when she showed up at my door that afternoon, I understood immediately. She wasn't wearing a bra. I could tell the second I opened the door. She had on this thin, white-ribbed tank top, and her nipples, piercings, and all were completely visible through the fabric. I felt my stomach tighten, but I smiled and let her in anyway. Hey, I said, hugging her carefully so my son, who was strapped to my chest, wouldn't get squished. I'm so glad you're here. She smiled back, but it didn't reach her eyes. We sat down in the living room, and she immediately reached for him. I hesitated, then said as casually as I could, do you want a sweater or something? I have a hoodie you could throw on, just in case. She pulled back and looked at me like I just insulted her. Why would I need that? I texted you last night about the grabbing thing. I saw it. Okay, so I'm not covering up, she said flatly. I'm not going to let you sexualize my body. I blinked. I'm not sexualizing anything. I'm just trying to save you from getting hurt. By telling me to wear a bra? By suggesting you protect yourself from a baby who doesn't know any better. She crossed her arms. This is exactly the problem. Women are told to cover up all the time, and it's always for someone else's comfort. I'm not doing it. I stared at her, completely thrown. This wasn't about feminism or body autonomy or whatever point she thought she was making. This was about my 6-month-old son, who didn't have object permanence yet, let alone the ability to understand social norms. Okay, I said slowly. That's your choice. Do you still want to hold him? Of course I do. I unstrapped him from the carrier and handed him over, even though every instinct in my body was screaming not to. She settled him in her lap, cooing at him, brushing his hair back. He looked up at her, wide-eyed and curious, and then his gaze dropped. I watched it happen in real time. His little head tilted down, his eyes locked onto her chest, and his hands shot out like he'd just spotted a target. Careful, I said quietly. She didn't hear me, or she ignored me. Either way, she kept bouncing him on her knee, smiling, talking to him in that high-pitched baby voice people use. And then he grabbed, both hands, full grip, right on her nipples. She screamed. Not a yelp, not a gasp, a full, sharp scream that made my heart stop. She shot up out of the chair, and my son dangled in her hands for a split second before she ripped him away from her chest and held him out in front of her like he was a live grenade. I jumped up and grabbed him, pulling him close. That's why I suggested a bra, I said. I didn't mean for it to sound smug. I really didn't. But the second the words left my mouth, I knew I'd made a mistake. Her face went red. No, she snapped, voice shaking. You suggested it because you're a misogynist. I stared at her. What? You're policing my body. You're telling me I have to cover up to be welcome in your home. That's misogyny. That's not he's a baby. He doesn't know what he's doing. Then teach him not to grab. I almost laughed. I would have if I wasn't so shocked. He's 6 months old. So, you're his mother. It's your job to teach him boundaries. I felt something snap inside me. Not anger exactly, just exhaustion. Pure, bone-deep exhaustion. Get out, I said. She blinked. What? I said get out. She grabbed her bag, mouth open like she wanted to say something else, but I didn't give her the chance. I walked to the door and opened it. She stormed past me without another word. That night, my phone started blowing up. Mutual friends, people I hadn't talked to in months, all asking me what happened. Apparently, she'd already told half our circle that I tried to force her to wear a bra, that I sexualized her body, that I wouldn't let her hold my baby unless she covered up. I didn't respond to any of them. I just blocked her number and went to bed.